Go.
And if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the Q&A. If you want to jump in with a question, you can type it in and we'll try to do it as we go along, or we'll either hold all the questions to the end if we see similar questions. Hadley Droge, our curator, will be helping me with the questions so Rose can concentrate on giving you the information. All right, next slide. And again, thanks for joining us. All right, and so now I will introduce my co-workers and curators extraordinaire, Rosa Rojas, who's the manager of our curatorial department at the museum, and Hadley Droge, and I'm trying to enunciate so the closed caption can be kind of close. And they're going to go through the presentation, but Rosa is going to do the majority of the questions. So Rosa, go ahead and kick it off.
Hi, everybody. Welcome and thank you for participating this year. And as I like to communicate to the artists, once you join our family, once you are in our exhibits, you really are part of our family, and you are part of our mission. Doing this exhibit is a big part of what we want to do for artists, and African-American artists in particular. Although this show is not closed, it is all inclusive, I should say. But as you know, the theme is the African-American experience. Okay, so what we're going to be covering is how to prepare to have your pieces enter the exhibit, or how to prepare your pieces, I should say. Your installation instructions, what our drop-off day is going to be like, shipping guidelines, and we have a new sales policy that we're implementing at this show and going forward, what to expect at the award ceremony, and then when you come back to pick up your artwork. And really, we put this together because from our experience, this is our 10th year now doing this show, and I'll get into that in the next slide. But from our experience, these are some of the things that we've had to go back and help artists with. And so we thought if we just put it all out there to begin with, maybe it will keep these issues to a minimum so we can have a successful show. There we go. That is one of our artists who won Best of Show. Well, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, actually, and his wife, and then I'm over there in the corner. So what is Art of Soul? Oh, there's somebody else trying to get in. Okay. What is Art of Soul? Art of Soul is a show that was started, and like I said, it's in its 10th year, and it was primarily started because we wanted to continue our history of giving opportunities to African-American artists in particular who are, and African artists and who want to talk about or express their journey of the African diaspora and or the African-American experience specifically. So we have a long history of doing just that through our fine arts collection. And a lot of those pieces we try to incorporate into our exhibits on a regular basis, just to give you an idea. Okay, so every year we choose a theme, and I believe what we're going to start doing, because one of the themes that really aligns with our mission is social justice. So I believe that that's going to be one standing theme every year, because it is anyway, whether we call it a theme or not, it is what a lot of our artists work on expressing, and so we're all for that. And then we try to also choose a second or third theme that can bring the inspiration back into the show. And that is, again, also something that we try to do with all of our exhibits. Okay, so I'll explain that there are two phases to the jury process, and some of you may have heard me talk about this before, but the first one is I select 3 different jurors, and I really work hard to make sure that these jurors are very diverse in their point of view and their perspective, because we have found that that really gives artists the best opportunity to enter the show. So it's not up to me. Really, I lay out the show, but I go by the numbering system that has been assigned by the 3 jurors, and they grade them independently. So the other one doesn't know what the other one's doing. Only we know after they submit it on their due date. And then we go through and we compile everything, and I start laying it out based on the highest numbers, the highest scorers. And then I continue to do it until we don't have room in the show, or unless some pieces are really just not ready to show yet. But also artists are always welcome to call us and talk to us further about what to do to get their pieces ready for other shows or in the next year. This year, I'm happy to announce that we had Steve Allen, and he is a well-established artist. And all of these jurors, by the way, will be there for the award ceremony. So you will have opportunity to speak with them one-on-one. Then Shanoa Baker is a younger artist, and she's an independent curator. And then Michelle Brandt, who is founder and owner of Brandt Robert Galleries. And she works closely with artists to get them out there. If she decides that she will accept your work or represent you as her agent, you can work with her more closely one-on-one. So every year I try to get a person that fulfills that role and another one who is more of the experienced artist, and they can guide new or emerging artists in that way. And usually then another person who's academician or in the museum or curator. And that's how I choose. And then again, those artists, those jurors are the ones that go back in. And every year it's a different mixed bag, because it all depends on their points of view. So if you have friends and you want to tell them about the show, which we hope that you do, it's important to pass that message along. So, and even yourselves, if one of your pieces got accepted and you're wondering why another piece did not get accepted, again, it's because each piece is graded individually. Okay. So preparing for the exhibit, we need to make sure, or you need to make sure that when you're putting your attachments for hanging on the back, they should hang down a third. So if you divide the back of your piece into 3 parts, it should come down the first third, and it should be even all the way across. And then the wire, once you put your wire on there, we can adjust that if we need to, but our policy really is not to go in and have to do anything to your piece. And we really take our responsibility with that very seriously. And that is because we don't want to alter your work in any way. And in fact, you will see that when you come to drop off your work, or if your work is shipped to us, we handle everything with gloves from that moment forward. And we will not allow anybody else to handle your work that isn't experienced in handling archival pieces or collection items. And so once it's out in our possession and you have signed off on the paperwork and we've signed off on it, it is considered an object on loan, and it's in our care from that moment forward. But you have to also do your part and make sure that you're preparing the work for exhibition and for shipping. If your piece has to have glass in front of it, or Plex, then it really needs to be glare free, because we will go back and photograph individual pieces in the exhibit sometimes, or we use them in exhibit shots for marketing or for catalogs or for future use. And if it's a glare, then it creates a problem. Okay, let's see, if you have a piece that's an assemblage or a sculpture and it needs directions on how to actually assemble it, well, we always prefer if you can come and install that piece yourself, if it's tricky. If you can't be here to make that happen, then exact directions, if you have to record a video to show us something, we are happy to work with you closely on that. If we need to have a face-to-face chat to work out details, actually, if we feel that we're at that place, even with all the directions that you sent us, Hadley and I can't figure something out, we're going to call you directly. But as much information as you can send us, then please do, because it's just going to make it better and easier all the way around. Plus, we want to protect your piece, and so if it's very fragile, make sure on your end before you send it that the connections are strong, that the joints are strong, so it's not going to fall apart in place. Okay, and then also finally, really, the exhibit will be up for months, and we do get school groups coming through. We get parents with small children, and they're not always thinking about your piece and the care of your piece like we do and we would. So think about that. If we see that a piece really needs to be under Plex bonnet, then we make sure to do that. Or if it needs a stanchion around it, we'll make sure to do that. But also, please, on your end, make sure that your piece is not going to be so delicate that it can fall on a visitor's foot or something. So those are all things that we all need to think about. And so here are examples in these two photos of artists coming in to actually prepare their work for installation. Okay, we do have a group of installers, Hadley and I included, and we get in there and we work with the pieces ourselves. And we've talked about the complex installations. Oh, and if we've already addressed for this show who needs to come in, but if you are one of these artists that feel that you need to participate in the actual handling of your piece, then please let us know. This is the time to let us know so we can get that scheduled, because that has to happen before the drop-off day. So the day that it gets dropped off on a Saturday, then that next Monday we start the installation. So the schedule is very, very tight, and there's no room to wait for your piece to come in. Or for you to schedule in that next week to work out the installation with us. Like, it needs to be scheduled right now. So art labels are going to include your name, date of creation, medium, and artist statement. And if you wish to change, will you initially submit it to the art call? Then you need to, Hadley, raise your hand again and wave. You need to contact Hadley. And as Hadley said, because everybody in our curatorial department is really people friendly, and we are right there to help you out. As Hadley said, everyone feels comfortable calling her, so or emailing her. So please be one of those artists if you need to be. Okay, shipping guidelines. You're going to, if you're shipping anything, then please use this information that you see there. And that information should have also been included in your acceptance letter. Okay, so Please notify NAAMCC to expect the shipment and provide the vendor and tracking number so that we can be on the lookout for it. And again, please make sure that you are scheduling this to arrive no later than the drop-off date, which is September 20th. And if you need your piece shipped back to you, then include a prepaid return shipping label. And that's very important because for any artist that hasn't provided that information, we really, if we have to find, our space is very tight, our collection space, and we don't have a lot of room to hold on to your piece for weeks and weeks or even days. So we expect to turn it right around as soon as the exhibit comes down that same week. So we need that already ahead of time. Okay. Our drop-off day, you will see all of us there in person. We love our drop-off day. And that is September 28th. We will actually be there before 11, but at 11 o'clock is when we will be set up to receive you. And it is a process. So we have several tables. We will direct you. It's well organized, but please do not plan to arrive there at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is when we are like walking out the door. So plan accordingly. If you're driving in from somewhere else, if you think you might hit traffic, really plan to be there by 1 o'clock. So consider 1 o'clock the latest for you to arrive. If it looks like it's going to be at all for any reason any later than that, then please call us or have your phone available because we'll be calling you to see where you are.
Rosa, could you go back one more slide? We had a request for well, actually, it's at the drop-off location. Evelyn, the address that you'll need to ship it to.
Oh, right here. Yes. So, wait, actually, do you want me to use? Yeah, the other one had contact information. Here we go.
Yeah, and it had Carnegie. So yeah, that's the shipping address to Carnegie.
Okay.
We have two buildings, so.
Okay, sorry. Yes. All right. So do we want it shipped to Carnegie or do we want it shipped to the museum? So drop off is actually at the museum, but if you're shipping it, it should come to Carnegie, I believe, because it has to go through the process, through the collections department, and they're prepared to do that at Carnegie.
You want to put this slide back up one more time for the address?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Did everybody get a chance? Okay. Well, we're going to be sending this out. I mean, you have access to this slideshow. All right. So when you come, if you're dropping it off physically, remember you're coming to the museum building itself. Okay. There is a new sales policy this year. In the past, we have accepted doing that service for artists, but our staff, we're just very, very stretched already with everything that we can do with such a small staff. So we are going to leave that in between the artist and the collector. So we're not going to be sales agents for artists this year. But there will be, we always have a list of all of the art pieces and the contact information for the artist and sale price. And if anyone inquires, we can make that available to them at our front desk. And then they can contact you directly. So your part in that is to make sure that you're giving us real information on if the email. So if you include an email, please be sure to check your emails every day. Or if you, however way of communication you're providing, please stay on top of it because we don't want you guys to lose a sale. And we don't want to be the ones getting calls back from collectors who are trying to reach. You're like, well, this is what we've got. Okay, oh, yes, and if you sell a piece, because this is between you and the collector, please let us know, and we'll put a red dot on it, so we'll know, oh, that piece is sold. And then know that the piece has to stay up till the end of the show, till the very last day. So if it sells, wonderful, but it's still part of the show, and you cannot remove it. And another thing I have to say towards that is, your piece has been accepted. It has already been dedicated a spot on the walls. And if that piece is not available come the day of drop off, because, and this, I'm only saying this because this happened once before, where the artist sold the piece and then we could not include it in the show. And that's, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, that is not the way to work with a show, because we would have to have you sit out the next show. That's our policy. You know, because now we have to make adjustments to the entire show to make up for that space that we've already laid out. So when you sign the contract, that's really what it means, that your piece, you're committing it to this show. It's going to be available, as we discussed. It's going to be there for drop off, and we're going to have it for the entirety of the show. Okay, and then there's additional paperwork once it's sold that needs to happen with our collections department. But once you let us know that's the situation, then we'll reach out and talk to you further about it. Okay, now I'm going to hand this part over because there's additional information that both Ms. Geraldine, Barbie, and Hadley Drudge are going to share with you. So ladies, take it away.
Okay, excuse me, I'll jump in. The award ceremony, which is one of our favorite parts of the whole, at least one of my favorite parts, looking at your
I
art.
love it too.
Yeah, and looking at your art is my favorite part, but this part is exciting for us. So to just give you kind of a brief overview of the day on October 19th, we open at 9 a.m., so you feel free to come anytime after 9 a.m. From 10 to noon, we're going to have a artist discussion with all the artists who have attended, just to give you chance to meet each other, to fellowship, general, stressors or things people are going through as artists, and emerging artists can share some of their experience. The more seasoned artists can share their experience. So we found that this is a good way for people to kind of commensurate and talk about the overall art scene in America right now.
Also, I'm going to add one more thing, Geraldine, to that, if I may. The judges will be there as well.
Right.
So
right.
That's a good opportunity for you to connect with them and ask them questions one-on-one. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, then we'll have a light lunch we're going to serve to all the guests, including you. So from noon to 1. Now, if I know artists get to talking, and it's 12:15, it's 12:30. So just know that you can grab your food, and just sit down at the table. We just like everybody to kind of be hopefully seated around about 10 to 1. So you do have time to still schmooze and look at the and also we also invite you to look at the other exhibits in the museum, because we have some great exhibits as well. Okay, then the award ceremony will start at 1 and be over by 2 o'clock. And you probably already know this. This is where we'll present the best of show and the first place for each of the categories. And then the People's Choice. So this is where Hadley comes in to talk a little bit more about how the People's Choice selection is made by the public.
Thank you, Geraldine. And before I begin, Rosa, Evelyn had a question about the artist discussion. She was curious if the discussion is open only to participating artists, or is it open to the public?
No, it's open to anyone, to everybody. Everyone's welcome. We never exclude.
So we are going to be announcing the People's Choice at the award ceremony. It is a prize of $500. This is kind of an alternative to the more academic process that our jurors go through. It's a way also to promote your work. So we conduct a social media campaign and an online campaign to share all the participating artists in the show. And we do this on our own Facebook and Instagram, as well as encourage artists to share. And I'll just share my screen really quickly to show you what it will look like. Let's see. And so you are all familiar.
Do I have to stop sharing, or you can?
No,
Oh,
all
okay.
you can share at the same time.
Okay.
So you're all familiar with this website, which is where you initially went on to learn about the show.
We're not seeing it, Hadley. It's not
You're
coming
not
up.
seeing it.
I can see it.
Oh, I can't.
Okay.
Can
Can everybody
everyone-
see it?
Maybe other artists. Shirley, I see you,
No.
Shirley.
Can't see it.
I can
Okay.
see it.
All righty.
Okay. Well, maybe you should stop sharing, Rosa.
Okay, I will stop sharing.
Okay.
There we go.
Is that working? You can see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now. Shirley, can you see it? You're our tester.
No,
Do you-
I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
Well, wait a minute. No,
Should
no,
be-
I still
Yeah,
don't see
everybody
it.
should be able to see it. Let me look at my my controls. Oh, oops. Wrong one. Multiple participants can share.
I
Okay.
can no longer see the comments, so I can't see if anyone's typing in there. Maybe
I'm looking. Somebody now.
Oh,
see,
somebody said, so Evelyn said she
that
could see it now.
Okay. Shirley, I can send it to you through email.
Okay, that'll be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be
And
fine.
it also will be in the recording. So
Yeah.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
So this is
Okay,
the
cool.
website where you initially went on to learn about the show and then to apply. There's a new tab at the top called Web Gallery, and that has all the artwork that was accepted by the jurors into the show. What you can do is you can share this page on your social media, and anyone who wants to participate in the People's Choice can go on here and learn more about all the artwork. This is your artist statement, learn about the artists, your bios, and personal artist philosophy. And then they can vote on the pieces that are their favorites. I believe each IP address is limited to a single vote. So if you're voting from your computer, you can vote once, and then maybe if you're voting from your phone, you can vote another time, but that's it for every individual person. And so you want to be able to share this, but all of your circle, all your fans then will be exposed to all the other artists in the show. So we felt like this was a good way to kind of increase exposure, build a stronger artist community with the artists in the shows, and also maybe get a different perspective. Maybe one piece in the show really spoke to the jurors, but it's a completely different piece that speaks to something that's happening, in society and in our culture, and that wins the People's Choice. So this is live right now just to show you what it looks like, but I'm actually going to remove it. We will launch it October 19th so that nobody gets kind of a sneak peek at what the show ultimately looks like. We do run the campaign in person too, so all the school groups, all our visitors to the museum can vote in person as well. And then at the end, we will tally the votes and announce the winner at the closing ceremony, which is on March 1st. I'm sorry, not ceremony, but the closing of the show, March 1st, and we will award the prize winner at that time.
Right.
I'll
So that'll just all be done online. It's not going to be done in person. So we will not have another party. Sorry, guys.
Not yet.
But I wanna just add so I have over the years now, I have heard different artists share different things, and you should know that people do whatever they need to do to get their votes in. There was a couple of artists that are actually, because they were from Africa, they were actually getting their entire village, like their whole circle. I'm just telling you that all is fair in getting your votes in. And another more local artist told me about talking to her, having her two daughters, like she had them in competition, like who was going to get the most votes, like get the information out to all of their friends and circles. I was like, wow, this gets really serious. So I'm just sharing. Anything is fair, and what can you do out there yourselves?
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. So if you're not a good with social media, get your grandkids or your younger family members to help you post it
Get it
on
out there.
social media.
Yep. All right. So now what happens, Hadley? You stop sharing. Do I go back to sharing, or are we good?
Yes, I think we're good, and I will continue to answer questions related to this.
Okay. All right, hold on. Bear with me, everybody. Actually, the last slide is on art retrieval, but I don't have it back up on the screen. So Hadley, if you just want to share.
Oh, so you can't share the thing again?
No. No. Hold on. Yep, nope, I can't. Sorry. Technical difficulties. We did rehearse this, but you know how it goes. At the end of the day, something always needs to happen. Well, I could talk through it. Basically, the last slide is about what happens for art pickup. So art pickup is actually the week after the show closes. And it's a day just
March 8th.
March 8th. Yeah, and it's a day just like the art drop-off was. And please keep all of your wrapping and shipping materials. We give that back to you to take with you if you come in person, because we don't have a place to store all of that. Oh, okay. You Hadley's got it up on. Can everybody see it? Well,
yes.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so well, we don't have a lot of big, like in the past, we've had almost an entire room installation, and that of course required extra accommodations, but we only have one artist with a large installation this year. And we've already made arrangements with that person. So if you have a sculptural piece or several large pieces, please bring back everything to wrap it and protect your piece to take back with you. And we will have all paperwork at that point for you to sign off. And I believe that's it. Oh, we didn't talk about catalogs. So we will have catalogs printed if we get all of the pieces photographed at high resolution that we need to put it into the catalog, then we will have, and all of the stars and the moons are in alignment, then, we hope to have catalogs by the opening ceremony to have. And those of you that have done the show with me before know how crazy I get about my catalog and having artists sign their piece for me. And then I keep close track of it because everyone likes my catalog that has all the signatures. Well, certainly I encourage you to do the same. It's just a nice thing to do, and a nice way to kind of introduce yourself also to the artist. Is it like a nice way a nice foot in the door if you're not a person that's comfortable with networking. Okay, do we have to say anything else, anybody?
Yeah, just emphasize that, that's when we need to have everybody's piece shipped or dropped off by September 28th, because that's the only way we can get the catalog completed
Oh, yeah.
October 19th.
Yeah. And we're not fooling. Hey, if your piece isn't in there, we tried, right? Like we cannot, we cannot delay it for everybody else. But there are just a few pieces that need to be, I think, rephotographed for the catalog. Most of the work is looking pretty good already. Okay, so now we'll open it up for questions. Anybody? You
And
can unmute and
think you-
just,
Yeah, and I think you can unmute and you can ask a question live, so you don't have to
you could
type.
ask live now, yeah. Because if you have a
Hi,
complicated
I have a
question.
question. Excuse me.
Hello, Evelyn. Nice to meet you.
I am so sorry. Nice to meet you and thank you and congratulations to everybody. I'm very excited about the show. I think someone typed in the questions. I will be mailing mine in and you wanted return postage. And I think there was a question about the return postage. So could you address that?
Yes.
Yes, if you could email me that question, I'll put you in direct contact with Linda Collins, who manages all of the, receives all of the artwork for shipping and processes all the paperwork. She's our manager of collections, and she can coordinate that with you if there is a difficulty getting return postage. She can help you arrange that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, yeah, and while we're talking about that, if you're mailing your piece in, please make sure that it's well padded, that the edges are, you've got extra cardboard around it, that there's something that's cushioning it, yeah, your frame is protected. Because, you know, you can write fragile on it, but the truth is that once it leaves your hands, you don't know who's handling it and how they're throwing it around and anything else. And so we do a condition report. That's part of our process. So we look at everything carefully once we unwrap it. But if anything has happened, you know, we are not responsible for that part. And so then sometimes it ends up being a war between you and Federal Express or whoever your shipping company is. So the most proof I can tell you this right now, that you can provide to them should something happen to your piece, you know, the better chances are that your claim is going to be reviewed. So document everything and just show like, okay, this is how I wrapped it. If they've done something on their end, then you can prove that, like, because we'll photograph, oh, this is how the shipment, how it came in. And so between us, you know, you would then have documentation.
Hi, this is Nikki Terry. How are you?
Hi, Nikki. Nice to meet you.
Me too, and everyone see faces. So I am in New Jersey. My work is already in Ohio. I'm still confirming the drop-off of my work.
Okay.
Also offered to pay for an Uber to pick it up and deliver. What is that process like? Because the Uber driver won't
Right.
know anything. So could I have that Uber driver call me when they're close by, and would someone meet that person or?
So I'm not even sure if that you would have to really talk to Linda about that, because they have to sign off. I mean, this is like all official business for the sake of the insurance. So someone needs to be responsible for signing off on the work once it's getting dropped off. Where is your piece in Ohio?
It's at Michelle's gallery.
Michelle Brandt?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's right here in Columbus. Maybe we can arrange something in this very, very special case. So send Linda Collins an email
Okay.
and explain the situation, and then we'll have a discussion. Because of course, Michelle's one of our jurors.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting to confirm with her if someone from her gallery will bring it there. I just don't
Right.
know.
So if that can happen, that's the best scenario.
Okay.
And then Linda would create the paperwork to have that person's name on the paperwork. And
Okay.
then that would be the exchange. Uber driver, knowing Linda, she's gonna veto that idea. Let
Yeah,
me just tell
I
you
don't
that.
think, yeah, I don't think
She's
it,
gonna veto that. She's the most cautious out of all of us.
yeah, because the main thing is that, it's the whole chain of custody issue. And the Uber driver, while they're insured, while a person, I guess, or package is in the car, I just don't think that would probably be a good solution. Plus, it probably, well, I guess it'd still be cheaper than shipping it, but it may be a little bit cheaper than shipping it, but it still may leave you open to some liability if the driver damages your piece.
Okay. Okay. I'll double check with Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. Anybody else?
This is Evelyn again.
Hi, Evelyn, again.
Because I grew up in Cincinnati and attended Wilberforce University, I most likely will try to attend. Do you need RSVP of how many people?
Thank you. That's what I forgot to say. So
Okay.
yeah, for the award ceremony, because we do provide lunch, so I would be sure I have enough food for everyone. Please RSVP by October the 8th. We got sidetracked on something else, I guess. So anyway, yeah, please RSVP with your guests. And let me also emphasize that any other guests you bring will have to pay our normal admission, which is $6 for adults, $5 for seniors, and AAA discount, and for
But
children under
they get lunch with regular admission, Carolyn?
yeah.
Okay.
Then I thought for train of thought. Oh, and then for children, it's $3. And that's from 6 to 17.
Wait, you said guests pay. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
You get one guest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, one guest. Okay.
So each artist gets to bring in a guest, right?
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, each
One
guy
guest.
gets one free guest.
Okay.
Any guest after that will pay the regular museum admission.
Right. So if you're bringing
Okay.
your whole family and you're going to make it a reunion, no. We're not
Right.
treating everybody.
You can come, but you just have to pay for the other people. That's all.
Right, you can, yeah, we're going to charge them. We're going to charge them. But please do feel free to bring 20 people. That would be great.
And something I didn't bring up to while we met about this meeting, the following weekend, we're going to have a thing called Art of Soul Food. It's like a community day where we'll have the museum open for free admission. So if some of your more frugal family members would like to see this show, they can come on the 26th we're going to have some food demonstrations and free giveaways and just things. It's kind of a community day. So that'll be on October 26th.
October.
And we'll get this information to everyone closer to October.
Anybody else? And if you remember something later on, or something comes up, just please reach out to info. Where is that?
I can type it in the chat.
Okay. And then that any question that you have can go to that info address, email address, and then the people that monitor that will send it to whoever is the best person to address it. So just feel free, but you don't have to think about, oh, who was I supposed to ask that question of, or who did I need to address, or what's the name of the collections manager? Like that's too much information. Don't worry about any of that. Just type it into info.
There it goes.
Info NAAMCC@ohiohistory.org. I would make a horrible person to be on the radio or TV. I am just not good at this. I am much better at one-on-one, people to people, artist to artist. Shirley's laughing. Shirley knows me.
Yes, the best.
I'm
Oh,
also typing in our phone number in case you just want to call or leave a message. And you can leave message at extension 0. Okay, we have a question again from Evelyn.
No, I was answering a question that
Oh,
someone.
oh, okay. All right, cool.
Thank
Okay.
you.
well, as always, we have an exciting show. I think that's what I love about this show. Every time we put it on, like I work really hard, and the rest of the staff works really hard as well to make sure that we are reaching and encouraging artists from, it's such a wide spectrum. So the mediums that you use, materials that you bring in, the styles are all different. Just to give everyone an opportunity to express themselves however you can, leave a mark, make your mark. And then also for the audience that comes through, there are people, since we went to 2 years this time, and we're going to continue doing every 2 years, it just gives people more time to prepare their pieces. That's turning out to be a good thing. But because artists were not expecting that, we have been receiving questions from artists reaching us like, did I miss the deadline? Because I didn't see that come through. And it's like, no, it's okay. We're going to 2 years. And so that always feels good because, we're all in this together and everyone's excited about participating in the show as well. And it's just sad that it's a good problem to have, but we had so many entries that we really could only take just a little over half of them. So a lot of artists, a lot of really quality, experienced, wonderful work that we would have had previously in a show didn't get in this year. And it's nothing about the work or the artist or the experience. It's just that I have to stay true to our process and just go by the numbers, the grading that came through. So all I do is plug it in and make sure that it all works, that it's all flowing together as a show. But I'm not the one that slashes. So don't yell at me. That's what I'm trying to say. But you guys all got in, so that's all good.
This is Evelyn. I may have missed it. How many pieces were submitted and how many pieces are in the show?
What are I don't have those off the top of my head, but we can certainly put that in there.
Ellie, do you know that information off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think that the number of completed submissions, we had a lot of submissions just beyond what was actually finalized and completed start to finish. I think that was 157. And then the number that was included in the show, I believe, is 68.
Thank you.
Oh, there's someone coming in. I think she must have got kicked off. There we go. All right, if we don't have any other questions, we're at the end of our show. Again, if you think of anything else.
This is Evelyn. I have one more question.
Evelyn,
I'm sorry. I'm
no, it's cool.
That's
why we're here.
Tickled pink to be in the show. So if we want to buy copies, I expect you're going to get a copy of the catalog, but if we want to buy copies,
yeah, they'll be there
for that. Just buy them there? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can buy them at the opening. I haven't determined the price yet because I'm got to determine the printing costs, but so again, we'll get that information to everybody before the 19th.
Okay, and if I'm not able to come, you will let us know how to order them.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we can we'll send them to you.
Thank you so much.
For a small fee.
I fully expect it. Art is not free.
Thank you. That's what I keep saying. It's like, look, just because we love doing this, it doesn't mean that, the gas company doesn't still come charging, right?
Yes. We need the lights to see the art. We understand.
That's right. I love it. All right, well, looking forward to meeting everyone in person and having that party and that great discussion on the awards day, but we'll be seeing probably about half at the art drop-off. And I feel like that's always a party too, because I get to reconnect with them.
Is anyone planning to attend the opening who's on the call now?
Yes,
I'm in Connecticut. I'm just
I'll be there.
I'm asking
I'll be
questions.
there.
Where do you live?
I'm in Dayton.
Okay, that's easy. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also stay tuned. We've been so busy trying to pull the show together. Since we had a record number of entries, we will probably have some type of online program to offer to the artists and the public. I haven't talked to Hadley or Rosa about this. I have some ideas. So as the show progresses, until it closes on March 1st, we'll do some type of gathering online, either whether it's another discussion. I saw some interesting films that maybe we could show as a group. So we'll get back with you guys once we get everything organized for actually hanging the show.
Yeah.
As Rosa alluded to, we have a staff of 10 people and only 3 people in curatorial and 3 people in collection. So we all have to kind of do a group heave ho to get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, but as they say in the business, right? The show must go on, and we always
whether
manage
ready or
to.
not.
We still do it. We still manage to do it, even with the little resources that we have. But it's what we're committed to doing, so we do it. All right, everybody, we get done.
There
Thank
is
you
a
so
question
much.
that came in the
Oh,
text.
another question.
Melissa, I believe, asked, can we create an email stream with all the artists or an IG stream?
Oh,
Was
yeah. I'm
typing
gonna
that-
say yes. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
But
so
that's
don't say yes
technical,
here.
so-
Let us see if we can manage that. I'm not gonna say yes. So let's
All right, we will
Thank
figure it
you.
out. If everybody agrees to it and wants to be a part of that.
Well, we'll figure.
Oh,
We'll see
Hadley
if we can
had
do
an
it.
answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Great idea. Thank you, guys. Bye,
Right.
everybody.
Everybody have a blessed day.
See you
Thank
soon. Thank
you.
you for
Let me
joining
say
us.
this, let me say this real quick.
Oh.
You're gonna get a link to this presentation. We'll email it to you within the week.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Sounds good. Bye, everybody. Have
Bye,
a good weekend.
everybody.
Holiday.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
You
Thank
too.
Enjoy.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.